the latest and greatest. Another podcast pregame here as I deliver not only what is happening in the world of sports, but of course on this day, we have to remember and honor the tragedy, not only in the Pentagon, in Pennsylvania, but also the World Trade Center, which I happen to be down there on that day. And part of the podcast pregame, in fact, I'm going to start it off discussing and remembering that day and what it has truly done to our country ever since. I mean, considering that with security measures and with a lot of, hey, look who's there. What's up, Miles? You're on the Dark Knight today. Yesterday you were Superman, or 2 days ago you were Batman, you're Bruce Wayne, you're Peter Parker, you're everybody and anybody at this point. Bio, greetings, my man. What is happening? So 9/11 is going to be a theme on the podcast, as I'll start off with that. And the reason why is because this, as I mentioned a minute ago, being down there at the World Trade Center on that day 24 years ago and everything that transpired, I will touch on that. I know I've shared that story before, I believe on previous podcasts when it's fallen on the day. So, but again, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about that. So that will kick off the podcast, but it's actually going to be a jam-packed one. So, and you are the Dark Knight. Yes. Miles is like 4 superheroes wrapped up in one. Yeah, if you listen to the live stream yesterday, which is on the channel, I kind of hate to beat on the same drum, but the Mets still trying to stay positive even, almost 24 hours after that live stream. And I'll add even a little bit more of I don't want to say positive spin, but just trying to be encouraging. I mean, there's nothing to be encouraging about considering the way this team has played here. Losing 5 in a row. They're about to get swept in Philadelphia and pretty much payback for what we've done to them at Citi Field. But yeah, I could go through the negatives, and obviously for those who watched yesterday, hear me for 25 minutes spew on the just movie that I've seen plenty of times. And maybe one time too many as I'm setting up my equipment. I mean, I've seen this movie many times before, and I kind of feel like I'm watching this again. I left my headphones over there. And all I'm going to say is, throughout it all, I'm still remaining optimistic despite the fact that the schedule, even with 9 home games forthcoming, it still looks like this collapse could continue. And yeah, I'll touch on that. I know the Yankees, they also have hit a big-time wall, that being the Detroit Tigers. The last 2 days, they've been outscored 23-3. And I know their bullpen has been an atrocity. Today, they start their rookie Cam Schlittler, who has not pitched well as of late, and who knows if a sweep is forthcoming there for the Bombers, and then they go to Fenway over the weekend. But here I was 11 days ago, or really 10 days ago, because I was the first on Labor Day, talking about a sleepy September, and I know Brent, who got at me there yesterday, talking about the sleepy September in baseball, that's going to be boring, like who's going to watch. And now you got excitement. Even the Reds beating the Padres yesterday. They were 5 games behind the Mets a week ago. Now they're 2 back. And with the Giants losing thanks to the Diamondbacks, the Giants are still 2 behind the Mets as well as the Reds. So I'll have that to touch on. And there's a couple other baseball items I want to get to. Oh, Anthony Rizzo retiring. No big whoop there. Aroldis Chapman, he had that crazy streak where he hadn't given up a hit since July 17th, I think. No, July 23rd. He faced 50 batters during a span where he did not give up a hit, and he gave up a hit yesterday in Sacramento to the A's. So that I'll discuss. Eagles-Chiefs, a Super Bowl rematch. Ginger ale is good. Miles, I'm not a ginger ale guy if you ask me, but have at it. It's all you. Yeah, so Eagles-Chiefs. Big game for the Chiefs because a lot swirling around the team as far as this could be the beginning of a demise. And a demise, I'm not saying they're going to be 6-11, but I'm not going to go as far as saying it's a must-win because they play the Giants the following week, and you would think that they're going to capitalize against them. But, yeah, big game for the Chiefs there, Sunday, 425. And, yes, I know you like that there. Not that you want to see anybody injured, of course, but, yeah, out 2 to 5 weeks. He has that shoulder strain as well as, I think, like a toe issue. And then you have no George Kittle. They cut their kicker, Jake Moody, who's been a disaster. And they bring in Eddie Pinheiro, the former Chicago Bear, and I know he's Carolina and a couple other teams. But the Niners, a little bit of, I don't want to say disarray, but certainly some question marks on whether or not that they're going to be able to survive this next month or so without their quarterback and also their top tight end. So I'm sure you're happy about that bio, for sure. Which, of course, I'll talk about, too, with Kittle and all that. Then college football, scheduled a little bit better this week. Tennessee, Georgia is the highlight. So that's going to be a game that a lot of people are going to watch. No. And listen, they could have lost that game in Seattle there on Sundays, we know. But, yeah, those are two big blows to their offense. So we'll see how Kyle Shanahan manages that. And the college football looks pretty good. This new NBA rule, which nobody has really talked about, and I understand, is it a big thing? It is not. But I don't know if you've heard. So the NBA is instituting a new rule that if a player is going to take a half court, three-quarter court, say that again, shot, that it's going to count toward the team and not to the player. Which at first I said, all right, that makes sense. But then I think to myself, I said, all right, but what if the player makes the shot? Does the player not get the credit for the basket? But if he misses the shot, the team gets credit. So I would think that, let's just say for argument's sake, you're a player that, I don't know, or anybody for that matter. I'm not trying to just say Steph Curry or someone who's a three-point shooter. But let's say, for instance, that, yeah, you're a player and you take a half-court shot and you make it and it counts, but is that going to the team or is that going to you too? To me, it almost seems like it's the team make or miss, not the player. And I understand if you miss, it's not going to count toward the player stats, but what if they make the shot? So I'm sure the players are probably thinking, hey, like for instance, what if, I don't know, I'm sure it's not in a contract for some players, water, by the way, of course. There goes Miles with his Meek Mills, Melly Mike, Melly Mel, Melissa McCarthy reference. Of course, I'm joking there, Miles. Yeah, but let's say if a player, if you make 253s in a year, you're going to get a kick-in bonus. And let's say one of those shots happen to be a half-court shot, but does that credit the player or the team? Which, to me, is going to be the team. So, yeah, I don't know. Make it make sense a little bit more. And again, you're only going to get those opportunities every so often. So I understand it's small potatoes, and I'm probably nitpicking here. But you have that. I know WNBA, their playoff schedule starts on Sunday, but the teams with the final day of the regular season tonight, you still have to worry about seeding. I won't talk about seeding, but I'll get into that a little bit. With the playoffs, no Caitlin Clark, for those who know or don't know. And then two other things. The NHL, some hockey stuff, for one of the top scorers in the league, goal scorers that is, for him to turn down an 8-year, $128 million deal, which would be the richest contract in the sports history, not named Connor McDavid. What does that mean for Connor McDavid? Because we all know he's going into the last year of his contract. Training camps open up, I believe, as early as Monday. And you have a scenario where the Minnesota Wild, Kirill Kaprizov, he turned down that type of money, which I guess he's going into the last year of his contract. Add a Q&A sticker, it says, try it. Favorite type of pickle? I think I'll pass on that. But for Kaprizov to turn that down, what does that mean for the game's best player? So I'll talk about that. And then you actually have a big fight on Saturday night, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, which if this was, I'll go as far as 15 years ago. This would be a big thing. This would be on a lot of people's radar. I get it, maybe to the diehard sports fan or the big-time boxing fan, they're looking forward to this, but there's been no love for this fight. And I get it that Crawford is, 37 years of age, despite the fact that he has an unblemished record. And Canelo's Canelo. You know, he's a magnet no matter what. But for this fight that's going to take place Saturday night, I haven't heard many people talk about this. And I get it that on a lot of these shows, whether it be ESPN, Fox Sports, you go on down the list, it's not as if this is going to be at the top of the news cycle, but just goes to show you how far boxing has fallen as far as the American sports landscape is concerned. And yeah, I'm going to touch on it, and I'm actually going to watch the fight Saturday night. So, and I've actually thought about maybe even live streaming the event, which also is going to be another thing. If you didn't watch yesterday, I'm going to take on 2 sporting events that you can watch with me live. Tomorrow, Rangers Mets. A lot of it has to do with Jacob deGrom scheduled to start against his former team. So that is the first thing. And that's going to be on liveonassist.com. As a matter of fact, I should, you have to stay tuned to my socials. I'll put it up on my channel later on as a short because I want people to go there to subscribe. And not only that, but also if you want to watch a game with me in the comfort of your living room or your bedroom, or even if you're driving for that matter. So there's that I'll have tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, I'll do Steelers, Seahawks. But whatever game you're watching or following, that's fine. But I'm going to zero in on that, the home opener for the Steelers there Sunday. So those are the 2 events that are forthcoming. And there'll be a lot more down the road, obviously with the Major League Baseball playoffs. And if the Mets do make it, you know, I'll be on top of that. I'll probably live stream all 3 of those games, so you get my analysis while the game is being played in its entirety, so you'll have that. But besides that, although it's a lot to discuss and unpack on the podcast today, that is going to be it. Let me see. Yeah, that is going to be a wrap. So I'm looking forward to putting forth this podcast, the final one of the week, of course, to lead you into the weekend. And I know I sound a little bit, I don't know, my throat has been killing me, so I don't sound as exuberant or as pumped up as I do. It's not to say I'm not pumped up, or maybe I'm still half asleep, who knows, but I know my throat has been bothering me. So, and then yesterday I actually did the live stream without drinking any water. I don't know if anybody paid attention to that, so I don't know if that had something to do with it. Me ranting about the Mets for the first 25 minutes on the negative side, who knows? Maybe that did something to my throat. But yeah, I am pumped up for the sports weekend. Again, live on assist. Let me see if I can I actually type that here? Let me see. A 49-second was as unlisted? I don't know about that. Hold on a second. Can I type something here? What if I do this? Oh, here we go. No, I can't do that either. What's this? No, don't want to do that. That's a send. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I've not worked this on my phone the way I got to get more well-versed on this, because I would love to type in the... No, is that working? Oh, here we go. No, it's an ask a question. I don't want to do that. Right. I know I'm doing this on the fly. Let me stop this, people. My apologies. So, yeah, that's what I got, people. That is my podcast pregame. It'll be out around 12 noon, 12 to 12:30 Eastern. Love to get your thoughts. Love to get your feedback. And I know I haven't posted many shorts. As a matter of fact, I'll probably post quite a few today, similar to what I've touched on here. But I will start to add a lot more shorts. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, putting together that Shea Stadium vlog, which I wanted to get done by the end of this week, but there's a lot that I gotta sift through, and I have a rough cut of it, but I still gotta add some overlays and some transitions, as well as clips, highlights. I want to really jazz it up because the Yankee Stadium video that I did 2 years ago, I did not add any of that stuff. And I know people are going to say, well, JAYREELZ, you didn't add for the Yankees. Why can't you do the same for the Mets? Well, now that I know what the guidelines are and what I'm able to add to my video, so it's not a Met Yankee thing by any means, but yeah, I want to really jazz it up so where it could really attract a lot of people to watch, because maybe that's one of the reasons why, it's weird as YouTube is, it didn't get a lot of attention until late December, January of this past year. And I posted that August of 2023. So yeah, I want to make sure that when it goes out, obviously I want it to have legs from now to the end of time, but I want it to come right out of the gate and hopefully it gains traction and the algorithm picks it up and away we go. So I will definitely keep you abreast of that. I also recorded that video that I talked about a few days ago with June Lee about how watching sports on TV is broken. I thought that was a very fascinating commentary that he had there. If you haven't watched that, check that out. And then obviously I'm going to piggyback on what he said. It's not really a critique video. It's just pretty much agreeing with him, but then also adding a couple other things from a personal level just to enhance that video. And I do plan to do more commentary like that, especially now with sports. I could have done another Met commentary video after last night, or even I could do it after tonight, but I mean, I've already done one a few weeks ago, and I know I'm beating that drum till the skin comes off. So I'm holding off on that. Now, if they do have that epic collapse where, let's say on the last day of the season, they blow the final wild card, then I have every reason to not only put a live stream, but even just a commentary video on that. But we shall wait and see. Yeah, is that the... Yeah, I know. I need my glasses. But I think I know what emoji that is, Miles. So... And yeah, so there's a lot coming down the pike here, people, as I continue this journey. I'm also thinking about doing a live stream at a certain location before the end of the month. I've actually thought about doing it Saturday, but I don't know. It's too early to, or I should say it's too late to even post that. But do a live stream at a remote location, talking sports. I have a couple places in mind, so keep that. I may do that in the next few weekends, maybe even into October, because the weather's still going to be nice here. It's actually going to hit 80 today, which I know the days of, forget about 90s. 90s are done here in New York, but the days of 80 degrees, that's also slowing down, are continuing to be coming ahead. What the hell is that? Jedi? No, I don't even know how to become that. So... let me guess. Are you Darth Vader right now? Miles, I know you were Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Spider-Man, Plastic Man. You're all the mans. No, I'm not trying to do that, Miles. So for... you are. But I am not your son. Think about that. But just younger. Oh, Miles. Yeah, I don't even know. Are you still in Brooklyn? Are you in the South? Are you 17? Are you 37? Are you, to me, I would think you're on the younger side. Then you take over your grandmom's your grandma's YouTube channel for a second there yesterday. I mean, Miles, get to me. I don't know, my eye itches. My apologies, people. I know, like I said, my throat is a little, I'm playing injured right now. So I am in Brooklyn. So you're not in the South right now. That's good. Bye. Go on, Bio. Get to class. Bio, how you feeling about your Dodgers? Hopefully, you take care of business in the Bay Area this weekend. And I know you got them next week. I think you got them for 4 games next week. So, yeah. I'm in Brooklyn, but online. Yeah, absolutely. It's obvious. Yeah, I got to see the Reds play today. Yeah, day off today. Yeah, Mets and Philly. Ay, ay, ay. David Peterson's pitching, so who knows? He walks the ballpark, though. And he has not been, I mean, he was good in his last start. Wait, was his last start? I'm trying to think. His last start was not the Friday game in, yeah, it was the Friday game in Cincinnati. Yeah, glad, I know, Rockies, ugh. They are the cure for all teams' ills. Yeah, they are starting to get healthy, so. And they're still, what, 1 game back? No, the Padres losing, I think you're 2 up now, right? I should know that. MLB. It's funny. Wild GM calm after Kaprizov rejects record deal. Yeah, what do you think the Oiler GM is feeling then? Standings. Well, you guys are now 3 up. Oh, look at that. All right. The Mets still have an 83.7% chance to make the playoffs. I know. And the thing is, they control their own destiny, and I almost feel like they're 2 games behind, which is crazy. 3 games, yes. Yeah, I thought it was... yeah, because obviously they were 2 back, and then, yeah, for some reason I thought they were 1 back. Like if you love Doritos. Miles, I do not. I genetically modified. You shouldn't be eating that stuff. Doritos is garbage. It's not even food. And I get it. You want to have a treat every now and again or a snack. But yeah, no, not for me. I haven't had Doritos. Whew, it's been a long time. Maybe at least a decade. Yeah, I can't mess with that stuff. What? Yeah, that's right. It's chip pizza. It's if you read the ingredients, Miles, I mean, I have to tell you, it is straight garbage. And no offense, Bio, if you eat Doritos. I mean, listen, you got eat all the Doritos you want, but I don't know, Miles. Maybe laying off the what's it called? Yeah, Padres keep losing. Yeah, they've lost now. Yeah, they got swept by the Orioles last week. Yeah, of course they couldn't hook me up with the Reds. And yeah, they lost 5 in a row last week. Yeah, they've now what 7 of 10. So yeah, Dodgers gonna be fine to win a division. Oh, you beef jerky guy? All right. Now listen, better than Doritos. Yeah, I haven't had Doritos. I tell you. Yeah, it's been over a decade. Yeah, I used to love Doritos. I mean, please, I used to love the sweet spicy chili. That was my favorite. I mean, I know the classic, the regular ones were great. The Cool Ranch were good, but I wasn't, I didn't jump on that bandwagon. But yeah, getting older and watching what I eat and realizing what's in it and so on and so forth, I was like, nah, I stay away. Now listen, I eat, as a matter of fact, you ready for this? Hold on, hold that. Hold it for it. I had a few of these the other day with a sandwich. But have you tried these? Now it's probably in reverse, I guess. Siete. Chipotle barbecue. Now they have a zillion flavors or a zillion varieties. But here's the thing. Well, 2 things. Made with avocado oil. That's what you want. You don't want to have the canola, the sunflower, the vegetable oil. I mean, that's all crap. And then, more importantly, the ingredients. Here I am sounding like the food police. You can actually read these ingredients. Potatoes, avocado oil. Yeah, go to the back of the Doritos bag and let me see if you see anything close to what these ingredients are. All right? And then on top of all that, if I want to find out your age, all right, let me guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bio, my man, he's on top of it. Yeah, and I know which ones. I've actually had those chips. They're made by, hold on a second. Oh, man, I know there's one brand. I think it's like in a yellow bag. And also the key thing here. Yeah, gluten-free one, but that. Non-GMO. I mean, get this answer right. All right, Miles, I'll do it this way. Are you 1? Are you 2? Are you 3? Are you 4? Are you 5? Are you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Now I'm sounding silly here by listing off all these numbers. At Aldi. Yeah, good for you, man. Hey, listen. 56 years old. I can't eat Lay's. I can't eat Doritos. I mean, I can, but I just choose not to. So if I'm going to have a chip, I'm going to have something that's at least healthy-ish. Because we all know you're not eating the regular serving on these things. If you're going to eat whatever it is, like 14 chips or 15 chips, we eat half the bag. Or at least I do. I can't speak for everybody else. 5-0 in December. Miles, are you really 13? What year were you born? And December what, Bio? I think I've asked you this before. October 7, 2011. Miles, you're 13 years old? And you didn't have school today? I'm impressed. I'm impressed that you admitted your age and that, December 5th. Nice. I got to remember that. December 5th. A big 5-0. Bio, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about turning 50? I remember when I turned 50, I embraced it. Hey. Miles, you're 13 years old and you'll be 14 on the 7th. And how come you're not in school? What's going on with that, Miles? Yeah, see, I got 7 people in the room. Hey, what's up, guys? Say hello. Don't be shy. 2 people just jumped out. Yeah, here I am for Siete Chips. If you want to sponsor Siete, I know you're not watching, but I'm chasing my 8-year-old daughter around so I don't feel old. Yeah, I hear that, but aren't we all, right? Aren't we all? No, that's good, man. That's awesome. Online school. What's your online school? Are you some prodigy that we don't know about? You play like 5 musical instruments. You solve math problems like Will Hunting in the movie Good Will Hunting. I don't think you've seen that. Is that supposed to be Sequoia? I guess Sequoia. I don't know. But so that's so here we are. I'm talking about chips and health and all that other stuff. As a matter of fact, I got to get her. Hey, Bio, you're the man. Much appreciated. I love the reference there on the flip, baby. Yeah. I got that from my cousin when we did our online radio show back in the late aughts, early teens. So yeah, on the flip, baby. Thank you, Bio. I appreciate you, man. And have a great day. And be safe out there. But Miles, I know it's probably Sequoia. Online school. So with that being said, I need to, what is it? It's a minute after 10. I got to get cracking on this. Let me turn on the camera as I get myself ready to record. I got to get my headphones. Everything's plugged in, ready to go. Another podcast forthcoming, as you know. But yeah, let's get it, people. Let's have a great day, great weekend. Again, keep your eyes out for here on the channel, live on assist.com, where I'm going to be live streaming a couple of games over the weekend. Tomorrow night, Mets Rangers, 7 o'clock Eastern, and Steelers Seahawks, 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And yeah, another podcast pregame coming at you Monday. Truly grateful, thankful for those who jumped on board or who hopped on. Much appreciate you guys and gals, as you know. And let's get it. As always, from the South Bronx to South Beach to South Central to South Pacific and all points beyond, I'll be 37 in 3 years. All right, there you go, Miles. So I don't know. He's starting his stuff again. We don't know if he's 13 going on. How about you 13 going on 37? How about that? Peace, love, and God bless everybody. Until next time on the flip, baby. And yeah, podcast 12:30 p.m. Eastern today. Check it out. It's going to be a good one. Lots going on in sports. Heading into the weekend. And keep it locked on the channel for latest information and latest opinions, critiques, praise, analysis, feelings, etc. on everything that's happening in sports. Much appreciate you all. Have a good one.